give every ounce of you that you can, but don't let people break your boundary.
What's up? It's your boy, Mr. Pointer. I'm gonna get to the point. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. Um, you may or may not have known, but there's a teacher shortage, and a teacher shortage doesn't just affect the students. It's like a chain effect. It affects everybody. And at the end of the video, I got a special guest that's gonna talk to you, and you're gonna hear from them yourself. So make sure to watch to the end so you hear what they have to say. I knew the teacher shortage was bad, but I did not know it was this bad. But let's get into it. Why should you care? So, in rural and high poverty areas, there's a higher rate of suicide, mortality, obesity, drinking and driving, teen pregnancy, and use of illegal substances among our youth. So if you have schools hiring teachers out of desperation instead of competence, because lots of teachers are going to school, and that's not only unfair to those that are going to school for teaching to just hire teachers who take a couple licensures, so if they hire out of desperation instead of competence, then our students won't be learning as much. And not only will they not learn as much, but they may even drop out. And if they drop out, they may make some decisions they regret later. Why else should you care? Teaching is arguably, I can't say that word, arguably one of the most important professionals, because without teachers, there's not going to be engineers, physicians, entrepreneurs, because you can't do a lot without a high school degree. So it's very important for teachers to help us get through the K through 12 system. So why did I bring up the teacher shortage? So as you know, I'm a school counseling and training, and for my practicum and internship, I have to be at my intern site a couple times a week. And since I have to be there a couple times a week, I can't exactly have a full time job, because the jobs in my degree, in my undergrad degree, require me to be there like 5 times a week, but I cannot. So I substitute teach different high schools throughout the week so I can be part time and I can see what I like in schools. So one of the schools that I was teaching at, it's mid September, right? And school started about month and a half ago. Some schools started in August, some started in the end of June. It's mid September, and one of the classes I was subbing has not had a teacher all year. They've had subs all year, and that just broke my heart. I was even considering if I had the time to be an interim, which is like a long term sub, so then I would be essentially their teacher. So that just kind of like opened my eyes, like, wow, this shortage is like getting out of hand. It's real. So let's talk about why there's a shortage. And this is just my opinion. I'm no expert in researching why there's a shortage and stuff like that. This is just my opinion. So why is there a teacher shortage? It's pretty expensive to get an undergrad degree in a lot of cases. I mean, there's a lot of ways around it, but for a lot of people, it's expensive to get an undergrad degree. And not only that, but there's like this narrative on low respect for teachers that's growing within parents and such. A lot of people have teachers and stuff in their family, so thankfully they respect them, but there is a lot of people who do not respect teachers. And not only that, but many people have this perception teachers just grade papers and teach classes, but they put on many hats and do a lot of things. So they're not only grading papers and teaching classes, they do a lot more, so they deserve more respect. And aside from that, there's a lot with COVID going on, so much with COVID going on, with sicknesses, more technical things you have to do now. And aside from COVID, there's a lot of bills being passed that aren't exactly in the teacher's favor. So I appreciate all y'all teachers out there. Keep doing your thing and keep staying strong. Oh, and there's a lot of professions being created and discovered every single year. So that means there's more options for people, which means less people are being teachers because there's so many more jobs being created every single day. Lastly, I just want to talk about how we can fix this issue. So I don't want to talk about it. I want you to hear from our professional here. Without further ado, here's our guest. Hello. So first, I just want to thank you for coming out.
Yeah,
You
of course.
you doing all right?
I am doing well. How about you?
I'm good. So I know I told you that I want to talk about the teacher shortage, but
Mhm.
just for those that don't know you, do you want to tell everyone what your profession is?
Sure. My name's Lexi. I work in Illinois and I'm a paraprofessional. This is my fifth school year doing that, and I work in an alternative school. So we have a lot of students with special needs or emotional and behavioral disorders, or students who've been suspended and don't have an IEP, but still have some behavioral issues.
As a professional, your professional opinion on this, like what's your thoughts on the teacher shortage?
So we definitely are in a teacher shortage right now. That is a fact. It's like statewide, there is a teacher shortage. So you're in Florida, I'm in Illinois, and we're both feeling the effects of the teacher shortage. That's how like enormous this is. So at my school, personally, I know that there's a huge problem with the teacher shortage. We just opened up a new classroom and we didn't even have a teacher for that classroom like to officially fill that position until I think a week before school started. So, and that's the classroom that I'm in right now. So there is a teacher shortage. And like I was saying, like how I subbed last year, and I'm just a paraprofessional. So I just have an associate's degree and I am working towards my bachelor's, but I don't have it yet. So last year, Illinois, can't speak for other states, but they opened up their subbing program. And so it's supposed to be like to be able to sub, and you, it's probably the same for you, but you have to have a bachelor's degree.
Right.
Well, we like, because there's a teacher shortage, there's a sub shortage, and so they extended it. So instead of having a bachelor's degree, they said, okay, we're going to cut the requirements back, and if you have an associate's degree, then you can sub. And so that's how I got into the position where I was subbing last year. So definitely teacher shortage.
That's awesome. And there's definitely like a sub shortage too, but I've never heard of like that. But that would make
Mhm.
sense, you know?
Yeah, but it's also kind of scary to think about because there is such a shortage, and it's like we have such a desperate need to fill these positions because kids have to go to school. It's kind of, I don't want to say that anybody can walk into that position because you do have to, you know, pass a background check. So get like your fingerprints and all that stuff taken care of. But if anybody wanted to become like a substitute, for example, you have to have in Illinois an associate's degree, be able to pass your background check, and then it's basically like, welcome to our kids. So you might not have any experience in this field at all,
Right.
but you're able to just kind of walk in and fill those shoes. And I don't personally think that's like best case scenario, but that's just what we're living in right now.
My last question for you is like, how do you think we can move towards fixing this issue?
Well, the first and probably cliche answer is pay teachers more, treat us like professionals. Like people who are teachers have at a bare minimum, typically now with all these requirements and stuff, you know, you can get like an emergency licensure, but for the most part, teachers have bachelor's degree. Teachers go through 4+ years of school at a minimum, study all the content, like, and are prepared, and then they get treated as if they are just like, I don't even know what to compare it to, because it's crazy for me to just think that we are responsible for the future of our country and we get paid like the least out of any profession. And I just feel like that is like, start there. You can't live in this economy off of being paid under 50 grand. Like that's crazy. So if you want quality educators who are going to put the time and like dedication into this, you need to pay them more and treat them like professionals. That's like my number one thing. Number two, so I'm in a program and it's like an accelerated program, and it's kind of designed for like a paraprofessional lifestyle. So like we have night classes instead of 16-week courses, we have 8-week courses. And for like our experience and clinicals, we get to work in our schools that we're already in. So I know NIU, Northern Illinois University, does that, and it's the first like go around. So I'm like the guinea pig, my classes for like this program, but I think that it's going really well. And I would love to see other like universities or even colleges do it, because it's basically taking like people who already are in the school and saying like, okay, we see like, we value you, we see you, and now we're going to help put you through school. So they do pay for it. And we're going to put you through an accelerated pace because you're already doing the stuff that you need to do. You're already observing the teacher. You're already filling in as the teacher in most cases. And so now we're going to pay for your education. We're going to get you, you know, your qualifications and educate you a little bit more, make sure you know all the like legal stuff. And then we're going to get you in the classroom as soon as you graduate. So if other universities did that, I think that would also help with that huge gap. So like we had 26 positions in like my area to fill. And so they pulled 26 candidates, and now all of us will graduate in May, and all those spots will be able to be filled for next year.
That's a deal.
Yeah, it's awesome. So it's going really well for us. And I think that if you value your teachers or future educators, do something like that. Pay them more, like 60 grand minimum. Like, come on, that is like
Right.
nothing. Compare, like, I can't think of any other profession that's paid like when you have a degree of some sort and you're paid under 50 to 60 grand. Like, I can't think of anything. So pay us more and properly educate us and take care of it. Take care of us.
There we have it. All right. Well, you answered my questions and you definitely gave me a lot of information. But before we
Yeah.
wrap it up, this is a motivation channel. So for those out there watching or who want to know, spit some motivation for like those future teachers or even teachers who are new that have like 50 students to a class or feel burnt out. Like, do you have any motivation to give?
Yeah, I would just say like make sure that if you're going into teaching, so I would guess I'm kind of speaking to people who are in my position. So like first year teachers or people who are going to be graduating soon to become teachers, make sure that you get experience before you get yourself into the classroom. So whether that's doing observation on your own time or reaching out to school districts and just like asking to come in, I think that is so important because truly I didn't know I wanted to be a teacher or like what field I wanted to be in. Like I'm going in for special education until I had that experience. If I did not have that experience, my major would have been completely different and I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. So that would be like my advice. And then my motivation would be just make sure like give every ounce of you that you can, but don't let people break your boundaries. So just know like you are a professional, you deserve respect, you deserve to be treated like how hard you've worked. You are a professional, but don't let anyone break you. And that's how my mindset is going into being a first year teacher, is that I'm going to have boundaries, I'm going to have a lot of self-respect, and I'm going to deserve like the respect that I should have in the classroom.
That's really all I got today. I just want to spread some awareness. Let me know in the comments if you knew about this issue. Let me know in the comments if you know about any other issues that you want to know more about. But that's all we got. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.
You came a long way. Just look at what you've done. You stressing about the future. Think of battles that you won. Don't quit on me. You getting better. Journey just begun.